Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ray. Thank you for joining me. Listen, just got finished installing the LEDs from F150 LEDs into my truck. And I just want to show it to you. Oops, what happened? Hold on. Done sat on my alarm. My bad. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. I just want to do a little quick intro here to let you know I finished doing the install. Did the LEDs for the turning signals. Guys, very easy mod to do. I'm telling you, you need to get some. All right, so if you're interested in seeing how this is done, please consider like, subscribe. Enough of me talking, let's just get into the video, show you how to, everything you need to know, how to get this installed and get it up and running. All right, thanks to F150 LEDs for supplying the parts. Greatly appreciative. Rocking the merch. All right, so let's just get into the video. Let's go. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Listen, we're gonna do final upgrade to my rear lights on my 2020 Ford Super Duty F350. You've been following my channel, you know I already did multiple upgrades already. I installed the LED for the back up lights here. I installed running lamps, top and bottom. So then the final part now is the turning signal, which is the middle. Now, in my vehicle, I have the blind spot assistant sensor. So that's all in this area right here. So right now, I just want to show you what you're going to be getting with your kit. 2 resistors for left and right. Now, this for 2020 and up for this type of installation. If you have below that, you may have 2 resistors per side. In our case, for our vehicles, we only need 1 resistor for each side. 1 for the passenger side, 1 for the driver's side. You're also gonna have some, I guess, these clips, new clips they're providing to tap into your wiring. You're gonna have some sheet metal screws here to tap into to mount these onto sheet metal. All right, these have to be mounted to a sheet metal. These things get very hot, so do not put it on any type of plastic. And they'll send you 2 bulbs, okay? And let's just open this up just for eye candy for you guys to see how they look. Very nice. All right, they're similar in design to the top running lamps. Very, very bright, or should be very, very bright. I know these are definitely bright, so check out that video if you haven't seen it. This is, again, if you have halogen lights in your Super Duty, this should be the first upgrade you do to your vehicle, in my opinion. They also give you a little card, again, indicating on how the resistor should be mounted to a nice metal surface, and do not hang on any type of plastic, because it will get hot and it will probably melt that plastic, so avoid that. Put that to the side. And also the tools you're gonna need a, which one is this? This is a 932, and this was a 5/16. All right, so these are the 2 things you're gonna need. Socket, and that's pretty much it. So let me take you over to how we're gonna install these things. I already took mine off, but I'll go through quickly on how to take it off. Very simple, and you're gonna have to remove the whole tail light to make this installation go in easy. So let's just keep it moving and let's go. Okay, quick overview. Very easy to remove these lights. 5/16 socket. Yeah, you're only dealing with 2 screws. Take off the top one here. Put to the side, and there's another one in the bottom. Okay, and again, to remove the lights, you're simply gonna come this way, fold out, and just take it right out. Now, you're gonna have to remove your lights from the wiring, and that's very easy to do. Just find a connection point, and you're just gonna press down and pull out for each one. Okay, just FYI, all the clips have this type of level. Simply press down and pull out for each one. It'll come right out. Okay, I just want to point out on the driver's side, the schematic tells us that we're dealing with a gray and blue for our power and a blue for our ground. So our ground is going to be this wire right here, and for our power, I don't know if you can tell, like I have some black tar or whatever this thing is on mine, but it's gray with a blue stripe. There's one right next to it, is blue with a gray stripe. All right, I'm not going to deal with that one because the schematic states it's a gray with a blue stripe. And if you're not sure, what you can do, which I have done, you can take your a voltmeter and set it to DCV 20, and you can take your probes, take the black for the ground, you stick it here, and you take your red for the hot and stick it there. When you turn on your blinkers, this should be fluctuating DC volts, so you'll know that you got the right one. All right, so that's a tip I want to give you. I did that off camera for the passenger side. I will do it for this one also, and that's it. So once I identify my two wires, now we're just going to connect into them. All right, so stand by. Okay guys, I just want to demonstrate what I'm doing here. As you can see, I got my voltmeter on, and you can see it's fluctuating. All right, so that's how you test it to make sure you got the right wires. All right, I have my red going to my hot, and this is the ground, and just turn the blinkers on, and you can see it's going off and on. So that's just a quick tip on trying to figure out which wire is what when it comes to this. All right, so let me just keep it moving and getting this installed. And also, don't push that thing too far in because you don't want to damage it. You just want enough to get a contact so you'll be able to test it. So, okay, we're going to continue on. I also want to highlight you need a small bit so you can drill a small pilot hole. All right, and after drilling that pilot hole, you're going to utilize the screws they give you to attach your resistor. All right, so add that along with a drill bit with an extension or a long drill bit, because you have to reach in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get there. All right, so let's continue on. The first thing to do, let's just attach the resistor. All right, that'll be a little more quicker to show you. All right, so we're gonna take our resistor, and I'm gonna take you over to the truck and show you where you should be drilling. We're on the passenger side, but it applies to the driver's side also. When you drill, you're trying to go further toward this corner here. All right, you'll see two rivet points in your truck. I hope this comes out in the video. I'll highlight it with my finger, one there, one there. Anything to the left of that, that's going into your bed, and you don't want to drill on that side. But if you go on the opposite side, you'll be safe not to drill into your bed, but enough to be between this panel is like a little void. So that's where you want to go with it. Now, so what you do, and have a hole puncher to help you mark it. Pretty much gonna try to stay in between those two rivet points. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna use my hole puncher, put it in that one hole there that I'm looking to punch, drill that hole, and I'm just gonna make a mark. Let me get my hammer, stand by. It's easy if you have a hammer. Yeah, I got it marked. All right, I just want to indicate where I'm gonna mark it. So I got my marking point where I'm gonna drill this. So now I'm just gonna make a little pilot hole in that one area. All right, you got the little hole, pilot hole. Now I'm gonna come back with the self-tapping screws. And now I'm just gonna take my little resistor, take the screw, and just start it now. So once you got that started, you can do the same for the bottom one. So now we're gonna connect our resistor. And again, what we're dealing with is these two wires. We have an orange and green one, and we have a blue one. The blue one is the ground. The orange and green, or green and orange, I should say, is my power. So we're gonna tap into that. But before I do that, I'm just gonna cut back this electrical tape to give me a little more wire exposed. Just make sure you're not cutting into your wiring. All right, just gonna peel this back a little bit. So now I'm just gonna expose the little wire in here. Connecting these are very easy. What you're gonna do, expose your wire, You're just gonna put the green into here, make sure it's in the channel, and what it's gonna do, it's just gonna bite right into the wire, all right, to make sure it cuts through it. I'm just lining it up, snap that in, make sure you press down to bite through it. Okay, that's done. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the other end, take a little bit more of this wire off, just exposing it to make sure I have a good connection. And you see this you have a little loop. Make sure you go up there, put that in there. Okay. I'm just gonna bite down on this, just like that. And that's it. That's the power wire. So now I'm just gonna do the ground and we'll be done. Again, same thing. Make sure it's going through. Have some needle nose pliers or something to bite this through and bite down. All right. And I like to give it a couple of twists just to make sure it's biting into that wire. All right, so that's done. And now we're gonna take this other side. We're gonna expose that wire. It's gonna sit right through. Take my needle nose and bite down on it. And that's it. That's in. Check and make sure it's not moving. I'm happy with that installation. Once that's done, we'll take our attention over to the lights because now we have to install the bulb. Okay, now we have to install the bulb. Now, in this case, we have to remove this whole piece here. Do not try to twist this off, all right? It's not made to come off, all right? So we have to remove these 3 screws to get to the bulb, all right? You're gonna need what is this, a 932 side socket, and we're gonna take this right off. I'll put the screws to the side, because we're gonna use them later on. And you're just gonna lift up on this. Now, this has a rubber gasket, so just remember when you put it back to make sure that gasket has a good seal. And just take your time. Now, as you can see, it's attached by the wire. This is our radar, all right, the sensor, or the blind sensor, all right? Make sure you don't pull it too hard to disconnect. So this is our bulb that we need to take out. So we're just gonna twist it and lift out. It's like counterclockwise, not even a quarter turn. And then you just take your time and take it out just like that. And the whole thing comes out. All right, so I just put this to the side. And just like any other bulb, you can just pull this out and get our other bulb and stick it in. Now, before you install this, you're gonna have to test it. So before you do anything, take it over to your truck, which I'm gonna do now, and I'm gonna plug it in. You wanna do this because you can't reverse it after you hook everything in. So you're gonna have to test it and make sure it comes on and it's blinking. If it doesn't blink, just take it out, reverse the polarity, and put it back in. Okay, it's not coming on, so pull it back out, and I'm gonna turn it around and push it back in. And there you go. Make sure it's already seated. And that's it. All right, so it's working now. So now I'm gonna hook it back up, so stand by. Okay, once we know it's working, now you disconnect it again and take it to your housing and install it. Let's take it back over here. I'm just gonna line up these little teeth marks back into the hole so I can screw it back in. All right, there you go. Okay, that's back in. And now we're just gonna make sure our gasket is around and seated properly. Okay, and now we're gonna put our screws back in. Now, just gonna take it over to the truck and install it. Okay guys, all right, everybody, I got everything installed. Just a recap of what's happening here. The top lights, LEDs, F150 LED turning signal, F150 LEDs. Backup lights, F150 LEDs. And the bottom light, same thing. All right, so the whole thing is kitted out with F150 LEDs lights. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys, it's 1,000% more brighter. So what we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna, since I just installed the turning signals, I'm gonna turn the truck on and let you guys take a look at it. All right, now let's check it out at night, how it looks. Guys, this is a super easy mod. This should be your next update for your Super Duty. If this was helpful, please consider like, subscribe, and I'll check you on the next one. Later.